Hello and welcome to my advanced vocabulary lesson. Today I'm going to be talking about 25 vocabulary words that you can learn today. Number 1 is abandon. Abandon is to leave something or someone and not come back. So you can abandon a person or a thing. For an example, a parent can abandon their child, or a person can abandon their friend. Another thing you could do is abandon a house or abandon a car. So a sentence could be, I abandoned my old house. Or Sarah abandoned her old car. Another example is my mother or my father abandoned me. So you can use this in a situation where a person leaves but they never come back. So this can be very devastating to a person when they feel like they've been left behind. Number 2 is abnormal. Abnormal means that this is not normal. This is atypical. Usually this is an issue or a problem. So maybe I go to the doctor, for an example. I go to the doctor and my test results are abnormal. Or someone is dressing in an abnormal way, or acting in an abnormal way. This person is different, strange, or odd. This usually describes a thing or a person that is strange or odd. Number 3 is articulate. Articulate means to share ideas very clearly, usually written or spoken. So this person can get their point across very easily and very quickly. Most people can understand what they are saying. For an example, Chelsea really knows how to articulate herself to her clients. Or Tom can articulate himself with his coworkers or with his boss. Number 4 is belittle. Belittle means to speak disrespectfully about someone or to put them down and make them feel bad about themselves. This is when you tease or even bully someone or insult someone. So Sally was belittled by the kids at school today. Or I felt belittled by my teacher. Another example is, why did you belittle me today? I really didn't appreciate it. Number 5 is bookworm. A bookworm is someone who reads a lot. This person loves to read and study and learn. A bookworm is someone who spends a lot of time in the books. So an example is, I really love reading big books. So I'm a bookworm. Or she's a bookworm. She reads 3 books a week. So that's what makes somebody a bookworm. Number 6, byproduct. A byproduct is something that was caused by buy something else. So this is the effect of something, or something that was produced from something else. So, for instance, dairy products like milk and cheese and eggs are animal byproducts. So these are products that a lot of people eat that are coming from animals, which is why we typically call them animal byproducts. A byproduct could also be a situation that comes from another situation. So the byproduct of our presentation was really, really good. So this usually shows effectiveness or productiveness when we talk about a byproduct. Number 7, a beneficiary. A beneficiary are people or a person who receives something after a person dies. This could also be known as an inheritance. So, some people will be the beneficiaries of a house, car, or money. An example of this is that when I went to the bank a few years ago, the banker asked me if I wanted to add beneficiaries to my account. So if you're opening up a retirement account, for instance, the beneficiaries are the people that would obtain the money from your retirement account if you should pass away before you get to access the money. So many people will put their spouse, parents, or children as the beneficiaries because these are usually the people that we want to receive the items or the assets, possessions that we own when we pass away. Another example is if a person has a will, they will often try to put other people in the will as the beneficiary of their assets, and assets are pretty much physical possessions that are owned by a person, like a home, money, furniture, jewelry, etc. Number 8 is capacity. Capacity is the limit of how many things or people something can hold. So for an example, if you go to a restaurant, there might be a sign next to it that says capacity 200, which means that only 200 people can fit in there before the capacity has reached its limit. Another example is an elevator. The elevator will sometimes have a sign that says capacity 1,000 pounds. So the capacity of how much weight the elevator can hold is 1,000 pounds. Anything more than that, and problems could occur. Number 9 is catharsis or cathartic. Catharsis is the noun and cathartic is the adjective. It means to express one's feelings or emotions through art or artistic means. This often will provide relief to the person that is engaging in this art. So, for an example, it is very cathartic for me to paint when I am stressed out. Or I feel a great catharsis when I sing and dance. That is an example of cathartic or catharsis. Number 10, check up. There's different ways that a person can have a checkup. The most common example is to get a checkup from your doctor. This is a general health assessment by your doctor or physician. Those are pretty much the same meaning, physician and doctor. So they're checking up on you to see if you're healthy, to see if you're sick or if you're okay. Another way to check up on another person is to check up on a friend or a relative, to call them or text them and ask them if they're okay or how they're doing. So I called my cousin to check up on her to see if she is okay. Number 11 is coincidence. A coincidence is usually when a combination of things happen at the same time. This is something that is unexpected. You didn't know that this was going to happen all at one time. For an example, my mother called me on the phone as soon as I woke up in the morning. What a coincidence. It usually appears as if one occurrence caused another, but most of the time it doesn't. It is just a coincidence. Number 12 is collaborate. Collaborate means when people work together to reach a goal. So let's get together and collaborate on the project. Or let's collaborate and talk about the best solution for a problem. You can use this in a situation when you really need a team of people to help you reach a certain outcome. Number 13 is collapse. Collapse means to fall apart. So something broke or fell apart. A couple of examples are my house fell apart after the earthquake, or my house collapsed after the earthquake. Sometimes people can play a game together where they're building something or building blocks one on top of the other, and they might accidentally collapse the blocks or collapse whatever they're building. Number 14 is complacent. Complacent is wanting things to stay the way that they are, wanting things to be the same, not wanting to change anything. So for an example, I really don't want to change anything. I'm pretty complacent. Or he is so complacent. He really doesn't want to make any improvements. Or I feel like my employee, she is so complacent. She's not flexible. She doesn't want to grow. She's too complacent. Number 15 is conspicuous. Conspicuous means to stand out, or something or someone that is easy to find. So if I'm in a crowd of people and I'm looking for my friend Samantha, if Samantha is wearing a bright red shirt and no one else is, she is very conspicuous. Samantha is so conspicuous I can see her from a mile away with her bright red t-shirt, or for an example with the yellow umbrella here, that umbrella that you're holding is so conspicuous. It is so easy to find it. It is so easy to see it. Number 16, deliberate. Deliberate means to do something on purpose. You planned every move that you made in order to do what you're doing. This is often used in a negative way, although it could be positive. But a person can deliberately say something disrespectful or say something hurtful. They could deliberately push you down or deliberately make fun of you. A person could deliberately plan an attack. So for an example, you deliberately pushed me. You deliberately hurt me. I don't appreciate that. Now, some people can deliberately pursue a goal, so they might deliberately plan to go to college or deliberately plan to start an internship. Number 17, depreciate. Depreciate is to lower in value or to lower in cost. So this is something that people don't really want anymore, or not as many people want to buy this item anymore. Or maybe not as many people want to spend as much or buy it for as much as they used to. So an example is that clothing can depreciate over time. A pair of shoes that cost $200 can depreciate over time and cost $10 or $20. The opposite of depreciate is appreciate. So some items can increase in value over time, like a house can appreciate. So another example is a car can depreciate over time. Next is destination. The destination is a place you intend to go to. This is sort of the last resort, the end goal in mind. This can be physical or figurative or intangible. So if you're going on a road trip from Florida, let's say, to California, you plan to make stops along the way, but your ultimate destination is California. So my friends and I, we really want to go on a road trip, but our ultimate destination is California. Number 19 is diligence. Diligence is consistent work over time. This is a person who is someone who quote unquote hustles. That's slang for working hard. They don't take a lot of breaks. They work almost non-stop. They are working all the time. For an example, my friend is so diligent. She works from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 5 days a week. She's very diligent. Number 20 is distraught. Distraught is to be disturbed or unhappy. You are worried maybe about something, or you're just not feeling good or feeling well about something. So for an example, I felt really distraught after the conversation that I had with one of my friends yesterday. I was really distraught by something that she told me. Or maybe you're traveling and you get lost and you don't know where you are, so you are distraught by the fact that you are lost. Number 21 is dwindle. Dwindle means to decrease or to get smaller. So your money could dwindle. You could lose money over time. So for an example, my finances are starting to dwindle because I lost my job. My money is dwindling. Or maybe you could also use this word to describe non-physical things like how you feel or your emotions. So my patience is starting to dwindle because of how long I had to wait for an answer from you. So my patience is dwindling. Number 2 is edible. Edible is usually something that refers to food. So this is something that is proper to eat or food that is appropriate for consumption. So avocados and eggs are edible. This is appropriate for us to consume and digest and get nutrition from. But dirt and rocks are inedible. This is not edible for us to eat. Number 23, efficient. Efficient means to do more work with less resources. So it's the ability to do more in less time or less work or less money. This is a resourceful person. When someone is efficient, they're usually very resourceful and they can produce more with less. So my coworker is very efficient. She can get more done in an hour than I can do in a day. Number 24 is elaborate. Elaborate, which means to give specific explanations about something or to go in detail, to really dig deep and share more information. For an example, could you please elaborate on your plan to increase our sales? Or could you please elaborate on why you think that this is a good idea? You could also elaborate with written papers. So if you're writing an essay, please elaborate in your essay. Lastly is 25, empathy. Empathy is the ability to feel another person's emotions and understand them. This could also be the willingness for a person to feel your pain. So you could also feel someone's joy and happiness, but most of the time when people talk about empathy, they talk about emotions like sadness and anger and disappointment. To empathize with a person, which is a verb, means to really step into their shoes, figuratively, and to try to feel what they feel and to understand their emotions. So a sentence that you could use as an example is, I love my best friend because she knows how to show empathy towards me when I am stressed or when I am sad. Or he really can empathize with me when I'm hurt, sad, or angry. It's really important to have friends who have empathy for you, and vice versa, for you to have empathy for them. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked my video, please like and subscribe for more information. I will be posting more advanced vocabulary words in the future. I will also plan to post idioms and phrasal verbs. So I really appreciate your support, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you Have a great day. Goodbye.